Okay, I'm going to tell a story about what happened last night, which was the Saturday night before, it was last night, Saturday night before Halloween. So this is kind of like just in time for Halloween what happened. And I don't have photos. I wanted to get them, but it was nighttime for one. And another was that Adam just wanted to get the heck out of Dodge. Okay. That's all he was thinking about. And it was, what happened was, I'm doing these food delivery, shop and pay, this kind of stuff through Uber Eats and DoorDash, and there's another, I have other ones, but those are the main ones. I'm doing this for health insurance, and the weather now has been raining and all that, so we haven't been going out, but last night we did, and it wasn't supposed to be raining, and it started raining. Just a little bit. It was very foggy. Okay, so fog, it was a part of this, just because it was foggy. But we had this order, it wasn't much, it was like for one person, and I don't remember if it was a man or a woman, but it was in a neighborhood, and, I went up there, drove up, and I said, there's something weird here, with this house and all that. So, I have to tell you, it was pretty scary. And I went out to go deliver it, and I was telling Adam what Adam does. He goes with me at night. I don't go at night by myself, after dark. And he has this flashlight, and he'll point the flashlight at my feet. So when I'm walking, if he's sitting in the SUV, when I'm walking, he'll point toward my feet so I won't trip on something. And while I'm, trying to get to the house. And there are a lot of these houses out here. There's a lot of, little hills, I don't know, and there are creeks and all this stuff. A drop off all of a sudden, boom, So he does that. But a lot of these houses have these winding, it's like sidewalk, but it goes up to their house. And they'll have steps on them and it's all concrete, steps or rocks or something, and the steps are not even at all. There's not, you step on one and it might curve the next one, and part of it is bigger and part of it's smaller, and it curves back the next one. It's never safe. I saw one place that somebody put stripes on there for people who come up their driveway, come up to their front door, and so it's kind of, you need somebody, or you need to have that flashlight with you, a big one, to be able to see. And that's quite difficult when you have a phone, and you have whatever you're carrying, plus sometimes drinks, and then have a flashlight, and you get a lot of balance. But this one was something that, I'm telling you, I've seen a lot since I've been doing this since July. I've seen a lot of strange houses. And this one, so basically I drove up and I got out to go put it up, and I told Adam I'm going to need the light. But he decided to get out because I guess he saw what it looked like too. And it kind of had one of those, and that kind of went up. Okay. Up steep, and it was further back than usual. And the walkway, I don't even know what you would call it, to the front door. It's more like, they look more like a sidewalk, honestly. And so it goes right up to the front door. And this one, the person had left a message that said, their directions were meet at door. Instead of leave at door, meet them at door. And I said, okay. But then I read more, and it said, where to leave it right past this certain gate, open the gate and go in. And I was thinking, I don't know about that. And it says just leave it on the red chair. And it's, okay, one point it says meet at door, one part it says just leave it on the chair. And I was trying to tell Adam that these are the ones that I've heard people complain that the customer will say that they never got it. And it was supposed to be handed to them, at the door. And I was trying to tell him that, but he jumped out. He's older than I. We met met and married over 40 years ago. And I'm like, I'm trying to tell you something about this. And right when we got there, we both stopped. right, as I got the stuff out, went around my SUV, and we're both standing there, like right close to my SUV at the curb. And we look up to see how far that goes up, the walkway, and it's like, we both look at one another. It's dark. I mean, this is pitch dark. And the weird thing was, it seemed like that house was that whole, just the house, and all the other ones didn't seem like that. But the house looked so dark. The yard, everything looked like just that one was dark. Just in time for Halloween. And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he knew I was planning on going up to do it, because that's what I do. And I said, maybe you might want to do this one. To go and drop it up off there. Because anything that is kind of scary, like I said, he goes with me for safety reasons. But especially if they think that it's a woman, I'm a woman, they see my picture, they think it's going to be a woman. But if he goes, he wants to go because, if it's, something just looks off, or if it's upstairs or something like that. And he looked at me. I mean, I saw fear too in him. We were both afraid. And he usually does those, like I said. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah. He was going to do it. But I'm like, I don't know about this. I really don't know about this one. And right there, it was like, right at the end of this walkway part, it was like the trees, everything was overgrown. And I don't even know what you'd call them, but I don't know. It was like little trees or something, and they were going across the sidewalk part of it, the walkway part. And like you could easily trip on things. And plus the way the way they had those same kind of stairs on each of them going up to the house, they were like rocks and sidewalk mix, and it was very messy. It was like somebody had not kept up the yard. It was so dark. And I asked him when he got later on, I said, what actually was in the yard? Because he was saying it was so dark. He said just like a bunch of not being taken care of. Nobody, everything was growing wild. Like, it was spooky. Okay, so anyway, so he does it, and then I'm getting worried. I'm having the flashlight standing next to my SUV. I'm having the flashlight on his feet so he can see it, and I'm just standing there. I'm not going with him. In case of emergency, I'll hop in my SUV and, use his cell phone and call 911. So, and then in the distance, I was hearing a dog bark. Okay, not too far distance either. I was not going to take the flashlight off of him to look for the dog, because he would trip, and I'm not going to go get him. And I mean, I would have to get a whole 911, because it was so freaking scary. I was like, I'm not going to go rescue you and hurt us both, possibly. And, So I kept the flashlight right on his feet while he was doing it. And then he's had one before. He said it looks like the patio, the back door patio is in the front of the house. There was one he did before like that. So anyway, so I'm standing there, and I'm feeling very calm. And I'm like, this is freaky, at the same time, creepy. Why it's so dark in that yard, usually you see something. You can see the next door neighbor's house, because they were in a, like a subdivision, and you could see the house, the front and everything, but it was so dark out there, you couldn't, I couldn't see anything, past that, except if I looked down the road, but not from their yard. So finally he came back and got in the car, and he goes, let's get out of here. Now, Adam's like that, not like that. He is brave. I mean, he's not like that to be, shaken up by something. And so I said, okay, so I did there's a little cul-de-sac, so I turned around, went out, and I was trying to ask him something. I said, let's do this. He goes, let's just get out of this whole neighborhood. He was shaken up, and he kept talking about it. And he was saying things like, he said, you know what it reminded me of? I said, what was that? And he said, Adam's, Adam's family yard. Now, I don't remember Adam's family, like he's a little older. I don't remember it as much, but for me, I said, to me it seemed more like the monsters, 1313 Mockingbird Lane. And I can only remember seeing that from a distance, but the feel to be, there is actually a 1313 Mockingbird Lane in Waxahachie, Texas. I've been there. And, but this, it was just, he said, there was, you couldn't see anything. And it was so creepy. And, he was just like, for him, he was shaking up bad. And we got out of there, and we kept talking about, he kept bringing it up. Man, that was so bad. He kept saying that was just so bad. And that's not safe for anybody to go out there. Nobody should be going out there. And I said, yeah, but like I said, it was in a subdivision. The house next door was not that far. I mean, right there. There's people right in front of it. People down the road. It was not like it was isolated at all. It was right next door to other people. And then I kept thinking, well, maybe it's, like an elderly woman and she couldn't do it or something like that. I said, no, they wouldn't be. We both agreed that the order was not something an elderly woman, we would think, would order for one. But anyway, it was, I told him that's what it was. When we were leaving, I was going to the cul-de-sac. I said, I want to stop and take picture. You really couldn't see anything except the light on way inside, because there was a gate where there's a walk, go the walk and around the steps and stuff like that. And it kind of woven into it. Then there was a gate, and behind the gate they said to open the gate, which I saw the gate open, and put it there. And in like a little area, I don't know what you call it, like the back doors in the front, the back area patio kind of thing. That was the second one. That would be the second one. And he actually, when I said, I want to take some pictures of this, because that's the kind of people who will say they didn't get it. So I want to take a picture. And he said, no, just get out of here. Let's just go, is what he kept saying. I'm like, okay, calm down, But I didn't go up there, so I can say that. He went up there. And then a little bit after we finally got out of that whole area, he said, my hand's itching. I said, your hand, did you touch anything over there? He said, yeah, the gate. And so I gave him, I always carry with me some of those wipes, for, I can't use the alcohol one, so I have to have some other kind of wet. So I gave him that, and then it stopped. But that creeped me when he said that his hand just suddenly started itching really bad. His palm of his left hand. He said that's where he touched that gate. And that was on two different notes on that they left. It said to open the gate. Well, the gate was open. So I don't even know why. I guess he had to push it a little bit to put it on the chair. Because they said open the gate. It's unlocked. Open the gate and walk in and put it on the chair. Well, all that, at the moment I wasn't thinking as much. I was kind of a little creeped out. But the more I started thinking after we left, that was, for him to be creeped out, yeah. But then I started thinking all those little things, the little things like his palm of his hand is where he had it on the fence, started itching, and for them to say to open that gate and go inside and put it on the chair, I guess more, people would, but for it to be so bad, and they know that somebody's coming to their house, somebody, and they only have that light way up there on. I don't know, I don't think they could do anything else, but, it does beg the questions I've had before of all these different places we've been to that we said no. The only one of them we ever had to leave and not deliver it because it was, we couldn't even make it to their house. It was so bad, the road. It was very dangerous. And it was the road. We just kept going and going and going. It was really bad. And we had to turn around and get out of there. But, I've said before, do people think about what they're kind of danger they're putting these drivers, us drivers in, us delivery people? Think about what you live there, but we don't. And driving on roads that don't have street lights at night, and they're just big drop-offs roads that wind around and around, no lights on the roads, no curbs, no rails, nothing. And if somebody else comes the other way, you can't, there are no lights on the road. It's very dark. And, but this place was in a subdivision that had lights, but right there it was so dark. Creepy, very creepy. If I would have been by myself, I said, what would you do be by yourself? I said, I would never be by myself at night. Period. Plain and simple. Would not do it. And then tonight, I noticed how, that was last night, I noticed how dark it's getting, earlier. And he was saying, I looked at 7 o'clock and it was dark. So he said it was probably 6:30, and the next Sunday is when we change time, fall backwards, So it's going to be 5:30 when it gets dark. Yeah, that's when he and I go. It's usually at 5 o'clock, so I don't go after dark by myself, but I've been out around then. I don't think I have been by myself, though, even that early. Anyway, it was one, I wish I would have gotten a picture, but it was not safe. Seriously, that was not safe for anybody. And I wish I would have gotten written down the address other than 1313 Mockingbird Lane. I got that stuck in my head after saying it. That's not where it was. But I would like to see what it looks like during the day. I would. I've been to some creepy ones, creepy roads, but never a creepy house. Except for that one that, it was definitely a Bubba who lived there with the what do they call, floodlights or whatever kind of light it was a boat and all this stuff, and so crammed and cramped, and I was going to have to go around a corner where nobody could see me from the street. I don't think so. I lifted by the boat, and he took away my whole $3 and some change tip. Woohoo! Yeah, that one. But anyway, that was totally different. But I would like to go back and see what that was. Why it was so dark. The yard was so dark. I couldn't make anything out. And what would make it so dark? And I asked him again later, like I said, and he said he really didn't know. He said it just was a bunch of junk. He said, like they never, cleaned anything up. I said, was it like garbage bags or something? He goes, I don't know. I couldn't see anything. That was pretty strange to not be able to see anything. Anyway, that one was one for Halloween. Yeah. But like I said, last night, the Saturday before Halloween. I don't think we're going to go out on Halloween. Yeah. There's too many of these neighborhoods and too many kids and, running out. And I want to avoid being out on Halloween when there's so many kids, that might run across the street and all. For everybody, their safety, us driving and all that. And, yeah, so I don't think I will, but we'll see. I'll tell another video.